Greetings, family. Greetings. This is Professor Griff, and we are on right here on Black Power Media, and this is the show entitled The Masses. And all we're asking you to do is stay in tune, not only with yourself, what's going on in the world, on a local tip, on a domestic front, and as far as a global tip, and definitely on the international tip. So this is On the Masses. Shout out to Kalanji Chabachanga. All right. Shout out to his staff. Shout out to everyone that tune in every single week. Some people was expecting me to kind of come on and do this kind of show, and I've gotten some requests. I've gotten some comments. I've gotten some where you at on this subject. I've gotten some I want to hear what you have to say, all of this kind of stuff. So I kind of did some research and kind of brought myself up to the point where I have enough energy and strength to actually do it. Normally with this kind of thing, I kind of take my time, go over it, chop it up, piece it apart, and do some other things. All right. But in the meantime, between time, I've been very, very, very extremely busy. So I just said to myself, well, let me do the best job that I could do today. So I need y'all to bear with me because I have to do it in two parts, of which some of this you might not agree with. Some of it I know you're not going to like. Some of it you're going to say Professor Griff is player hating. Some of it saying that N-word is too old, blah, 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 blah. You're going to say everything that I think that you might say. Matter of fact, I know you're going to say, because I know your mindset and I know the level and the degree of ignorance that's coming from a lot of our people. With that said, all right. Oh, I forgot to mention, some of y'all are going to say, well, he's doing a big, gigantic hour-long commercial. No, in fact, I'm going to have to do this in two parts. There's a show coming on after mine on this network, so I'm going to have to stop before the 1 o'clock hour, and then I'm going to resume at 3 o'clock for those of y'all that want to hear it. And I definitely need y'all's involvement. So real quick, we're going to do a check-in, and then we're going to dive right into the subject matter. In the meantime, between time, I'm going to put on some music in the background so we can see who's in the building. All right, shout out to Double B. What's good with you, bro? All right, salute Pookie X. I don't know Pookie X, but anyway, this is more. Peace. What's up with you? All right, where are you checking in from, everyone? All right. Shout out to everyone on IG checking in. All right. Walaikum salam, the real Jamil 4. Got you. All right. I am King Simon. Peace. King Simon, what's good? He had to let y'all know, look, I am King Simon. I ain't nobody else. I'm King Simon. Oh, you told me, Frank, you told me to take my time? Yeah. I got to navigate the BS, man. You understand what I'm saying? Teach hard anyway. Thank you. Give thanks. Montgomery, Alabama, checking in. B. Moore, Indianapolis. Janice Davis, it always surprises me when you put that up, Indianapolis. Because, anyway. ATL checking in. Chief Eagle, always from Arkansas. All right. Salute from South Florida. Need to know. What's good? I ain't need to know. I ain't know you was in South Florida. All right. Strong Island. R. Vargas checking in. Wilmington, North Carolina. Peace. What's good? All right. Stone Mountain, Georgia. The Shady Lady. All right. Way down there in Arkansas. All right. Assalamu alaikum. Yasin. Ibn Yaqub. All right. Shout out to everyone on IG. Shout out to everyone in the Shy. All right. Of course, St. Louis in the building. I'm going to see y'all in St. Louis in a couple of weeks. Queens, what's up? All right, Brooklyn. All right, how come I never see the BX in the building? All right, Memphis, Tennessee, Aretha, Muhammad, assalamu alaikum. All right, Zena is checking in from the Shy. All right, Deluxe Recording is checking in. Peace all the way from Minnesota. All right, with that said and done, fam, let's dive into this conversation. All right, let me lower the music for a minute because this is going to be like a shotgun effect. I'm going to have to give it to you straight. No chaser. All right, family. So I'll start. Hold on. I cannot forget my people from the D and Cincinnati, Detroit in here. Salute. All right. Okay. Muhammad's Mosque number 69, Birmingham, Alabama. Walaikum salam. Kansas City, Missouri. All right. Let me give it to y'all straight, no chaser. And let me just say this, and I'm going to put it in no uncertain terms. I just need y'all to bear with me for a second. All right. So listen, I checked out Kendrick Lamar's halftime Super Bowl performance. I thought overall it was a very intricate, interesting performance. All right. I probably heard about 3 Kendrick Lamar songs that I've actually literally hit the play button and played, simply because that's not my generation. A lot of them subject matters are just not my subject. My son Khalil was the one that turned me on to Kendrick Lamar. So when I met Kendrick Lamar, I don't even think Kendrick Lamar knew who I was. I met him backstage at some outdoor festival years and years ago when he had the song out, Pussy and Patron or something. All right, so we met kind of briefly, but didn't have too much to say, yada, yada, yada. He's trying to figure me out, and I was trying to figure him out. So shout out to Kendrick Lamar. But throughout the years, I've always bigged up Kendrick Lamar. Then he went through the thing with Drake, and then J. Cole was caught up in the middle, and I kind of talked about that real briefly. I shouted out J. Cole. I always told y'all Drake the fake was faking, and he was using black people in hip-hop. I've always said that. But I thought Kendrick Lamar was the one that was going to get past the mantle of what we see as revolutionary or conscious hip-hop being passed back to the next generation. I thought Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, I could mention a few other people, but I'm not sure. They were going to be the ones to receive that baton being passed back. All right. Now, being passed back to them from the likes of people like Goody Mob and other people. You understand what I'm saying? That got Poor Righteous Teachers, not Poor Righteous Teachers, but Goody Mob. Hold on for a second. Hold on, fam. Hold on. I think my what's the name is dying. Hold on. My computer is dying. I see the let me just plug my computer in. We don't want that to die right in the middle of what we're doing. So I think Goody Mob did what they did, and they passed the baton back. And the ones that received it was those artists that I just mentioned. All right, so now getting past that, I've always dug the tenacity of Kendrick Lamar. I've always seen him as one of the ones that was lyrically gifted in order to kind of pull off what he pulled off. I didn't know the Drake beef was coming. You understand what I'm saying? So I couldn't speak on that. Other people on other podcasts were speaking on it. You understand what I'm saying? But I didn't know it was coming, and then it showed Kendrick Lamar in a different light. All right, I'm getting right to my point. Give me a second. I'm laying the base. All right. So then, as I kept seeing Kendrick Lamar and some of the things he was doing, he went through a lull where he showed us that he can weather the storm, so to speak. Then he hit us and ended up on the Grammys, ended up on a few other shows. He did It's Gonna Be All Right. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, it got my attention again. Drake thing happened, and then now kind of here we are. You understand what I'm saying? Squabble Up is dope. You understand what I'm saying? I had to get used to, my ears had to get used to that sound as far as the music is concerned, because when I think West Coast, I think G-Funk, because those are the brothers I came up with. Cam, NWA, you know, those kind of, you know, the cool other cats from Oakland, other cats from LA, and just that kind. So I think of the G-Funk era. You understand what I'm saying? So my ears had to get used to that sound. I'm still getting used to it, trying to get used to it, trying to wrap my spirit around it. And it's very difficult being 64 years old, trying to understand it. But now I get it. I get it. All right. I got enough young people around me to the point where I can become educated. I'm not that old where I'm not open to understand. All right. The idea now of symbology, y'all already know your brother, Professor Griff, talked about it for years in hundreds and hundreds of lectures and YouTube clips. I've talked about it. I wrote the book. Not the only one that wrote the book. All right. I wrote the book on symbology. It's the Psychological Covert War on Hip Hop, book 2. Listen, family. The subtitle to my book is a reference book of subliminal, seductive manipulation of consciousness in a cultural retrograde. I put it right on the book. All right. With that said, come on, fam. Do your brother, Professor Griff, a favor and stop acting like I was not on it and in it from the rip. You understand what I'm saying? All right. I laid it out in the book. Let me give you a few things that I kind of laid out in the book to give you an understanding. On page 1, the first degree, talking about the symbols of hate, I broke. Now, this is not a big, gigantic Professor Griff commercial, but hold on. I broke down Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's definition of racism, white supremacy. I'm not going to read it. That'll take too long. All right. Hold on. I talked about the fear, the white fear, the fear of genetic annihilation. All right. I talked about that. And I broke down and gave you the symbols, some of which you saw in the Super Bowl. Not done. Hold on. All right. Cinematic racism symbology. I broke down the cinematic racism, the racism that's there in cinema. All right, the negative image brainwashing African Americans on page 23. I broke it down in detail. All right, so let me tell you what I put in the beginning, and I need y'all to listen to this one point I'm about to make seriously, fam. All right. Hold on. Please listen. From the quote from the book, The Hidden Hand. And if you don't have The Hidden Hand, contact your brother, Professor Griff, and I'll make sure you'll get it. All right. It says, we own our enemies. We own our enemies. This is what they're saying. They own their own enemies. So if they have become and position themselves as your enemy, they own the enemy of the enemies. Some of y'all didn't get that, but I'm going to let y'all finish licking the goddamn window with a little yellow helmet on and a little yellow bus. Don't worry about it. No insult to anyone. Take it in stride. All right. We own your enemies. I put it right there in the book. Before you can even get in the book, we own your enemies. In the book, The Hidden Hand. Then I dedicated the book with a quote from our good brother, Dr. Reverend Phil Valentine. Shout out to Dr. Valentine. All right. And his wife, Milani. All right. This is dedicated to those that are dedicated. And I'm saying to you, when you look through this lens, all right, of symbology and decoding symbols, and you're looking at the Super Bowl, which I'm going to explain and break down in a second, all right, this is dedicated to those that are dedicated. Some of y'all just trying to get likes and hits and trying to convince your little white friends and your little cute ass little girlfriend that you are symbol literate. And I applaud you for whatever reason you're trying to do it, because I feel partly responsible, because that was my thing for years. I want you to become symbol literate, i.e. the reason why I put out the book Symbology, the Psychological Covert War on Hip Hop, book 2. I want you to become symbol literate. All right? I want you to become symbol literate. This is why I do aspects of the work that I do. All right. Anyway, turning the page, and I'm not going to dive into this any further. Turn the page in my introduction. All right. First line in the introduction. A picture is worth 1,000 words. All right. But signs and symbols are worth 1,000 pictures. Marinate on that. A picture's worth 1,000 words. You've heard that before. Signs and symbols are worth 1,000 pictures. One more time. We're talking about the thesis, the antithesis, and then the synthesis. All right. This is why you hear a lot of people repeating things 3 times. And we're going to talk about that also. The picture's worth 1,000 words, but signs and symbols are worth 1,000 pictures. Or your books on Amazon. Yeah. But hit me up, 678-557-2919. You have to get the book, whether you get the ebook or the physical book. All right. And if you're going to understand what you saw in the Super Bowl, you you have to get Symbology and the book that inspired me to do a book like this is this one, Codex Magica. And you see all my notes. Codex Magica by Tex Mars. All right. So if you become this super deep, kind of analytical kind of person that's decoding symbols, 678-557-2919 is my number. Text me later on. All right. Codex Magica. After I've been talking about this book, after I've talked about this book, all right, for years, now you can't even find it. And then if you go look for it online, they want $200 or $300 for it. All right. So now, let's dive into decoding this whole thing. Shout out to my good brother, Ashra Kwesi, Dr. Ashra Kwesi, Scholar Ashra Kwesi. All right. He broke down the idea of what is the bowl in ancient Kemetic symbology, iconography. All right. So when you talk about the bowl in ancient Kemet, the bowl, all right, when you look at the hieroglyphs, books written in stone in ancient Egypt, all right, the bowl symbolizes the Lord. So every time you see the bowl there, carved out, etched in stone, it represents the Lord. So then if the bowl represents the Lord, what the hell is the Super Bowl? The Super Bowl is the Lord of Lords. Of course, y'all already know myself, Black Dot, and other people have broken down the symbology, not only last Super Bowl, but Super Bowls before that. All right, I need y'all to marinate on that for a minute, because y'all, yeah, I got to move a little bit slower. That's why I had to do this in 2 parts. All right, hold on for a second, fam. Let me snatch something real quick. All right, so now, the second part of this is going to be at 3 o'clock today. I can't stay on after 1. Kalaji been throwing jabs at me. I've been ducking them. You understand what I'm saying? I got to be off by 1. I'm going to come back on at 3. All right, so now, if the bowl represents the Lord, and now we have the Super Bowl, all right, why was Kendrick Lamar chosen to be the halftime performer instead of Lil Wayne? That's a deeper subject. We'll dive into that at another time. But it was the one that put Kendrick Lamar in that place, the one that was responsible, gatekeeper, was Jay-Z. That'll mean something to y'all a little bit later on, once you start decoding this and looking deeper into it. So if Jay-Z put Kendrick Lamar in that position, what's the relationship between Jay-Z, Kendrick Lamar? What's the relationship between Kendrick Lamar and the Carters and or Beyonce? What is the relationship with Beyonce and Drake? Then we can understand the beef a lot better between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. All right? You follow where I'm going with that? So with that served as a base, some of the things that was inside of the Super Bowl, let's dive into some of those people and some of those YouTube channels that got my attention while I was studying for this, and just let's talk about some of them. Can we do that? All right, because I don't want y'all to think I'm this super deep intellectual, whatever. There's a lot of people that benefited from the work that cats like myself have already done, and they just don't mention our names. I would mention some of those people that hijacked some of my work and don't even mention my name, but that's a whole nother subject. But let me turn you on to a few people that did now there's about 5 people that did a marvelous job at decoding the symbology. All right, this is one of them. All right. Okay. Here we go. Let me see. Let me see if I can do this right, so we can have this conversation. Okay. Nope, not there. Not there. Not there. There she go. All right. Let's talk about this sister right here and the work that she put down on and talking about this particular thing. All right, here we go.
Guys, I'm Jessica Clemens, and there were a couple of great trailers at the Super Bowl. The Thunderbolts trailer was amazing, and then there was also a fan-made Mission Impossible trailer, but that's besides the point. What really got me was Kendrick's halftime show. And I'm not here asking for y'all's opinions. I ain't asking if you liked it, hated it, booed it, whatever, because I liked it. The show is full of so many details, so many hidden things that probably went over your guys' head. So let's break this down today. Let's go through it scene by scene for all those details you might have missed, and also just maybe talk it out, because there's a lot of things that you can interpret. This video is sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that makes launching your own website a breeze. This performance is nothing short of a complete story with so many moving parts. It opens with the PlayStation controller buttons, which seemed to me as something else, but Zach on Break Room compared the stage to a PlayStation controller, and
Wait. That's number one, the PlayStation controller. All right. Hold on. Let me back it up a little.
This performance is nothing short of a complete story with so many moving parts. It opens with the PlayStation controller.
The PlayStation controller. Now, we could do a whole hour on that alone, because behind the PlayStation controller, if you can see, all right, you will see the 9 squares. What did your brother, Professor Griff, say 20 damn years ago about the city of the 9 squares? And everyone that's listening to this right now, put in the chat on where is the city of the 9 squares and what does the 9 squares represent? You see, don't get fooled by the fact that it's from Sony. Don't get fooled by the fact on how it's shaped. Don't get fooled at the whole, whatever, the X's and the O's. You understand what I'm saying? Because we can break that down too, on who Drake is signed to and blah, 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 blah. We could go that deep. But what you're seeing, but what you're really not seeing is the 9 squares. What is the city of the 9 squares? Golden Key, stop just throwing up shit, bro. Study and give me a real answer. All right, let's move forward. What is the city of the 9 squares is the first question.
Buttons, which seemed to me as something else, but Zach on Break Room compared the stage to a PlayStation controller, and I now firmly believe it. I googled the buttons that lit up maybe for a cheat code or something, and it gave me the Lost World Jurassic Park guide, which loosely does give you the...
Are you following what she's saying? All right. Press start, screen, press triangle, square, triangle, circle, X, square, X, circle, square, triangle, X. Come on, if you're really going to do the decoding, then do the goddamn decoding. All right? If you're going to do it, then do it. Don't half-step with it. All right, let's go.
The cheat code to start the game with 59 lives.
Cheat code to start the game. What game? We're talking about the game of life right now. All right? What is the city of the 9 squares? That's all I'm looking for. Will to Wise, thank you very much. New Haven, Connecticut. What is hidden in New Haven, Connecticut that you need to know about? The city of the 9 squares.
Lives, and this is the 59 Super Bowl. Coincidence? I don't know.
59, what is 59? 59 is power born, right? I'm going to leave that alone for the 5% nation of gods and earth and the Muslims that's in the chat.
No, probably not. Shelley Rogers, the show's art director, mentioned in an interview with The Wire, I think the video game theme was symbolic. His
the wild true story behind Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show.
Way to reach young people, Rogers says.
I think the video game thing was symbolic. Here's a way to reach young people, Rogers said. A lot of it's showing his journey travel through the American dream. Why would Kendrick Lamar need to even show and give reference to a video game theme? Because that's where young people are. That's what y'all came up on. All right? Pay attention now.
She goes on to say, a lot of it showing his journey traveling through the American dream. We'll continue to note this throughout the breakdown, acknowledging moments that could reflect Kendrick's real life. Also, back to the PlayStation of it all.
Here we go, City of the 9 Squares, right?
PlayStation is owned by Sony, which also owns Santa Ana label group, which in January of 2024 partnered with Drake's group OVO. So,
all right, Y'all making a connection now? Sony
So back to the
PlayStation.
PlayStation of it all. PlayStation is owned by Sony, which also owns Santa.
Sony PlayStation. Santa Ana label group to partner with Andre Drake Graham. Andre Drake Graham. Noah's 40. His label, the OVO. All right, now you're seeing the connection.
Anna label group, which in January of 2024 partnered with Drake's group OVO. So, you know, you get two birds, one stone, really. We also learned that we're playing the American game. A single beam of light hits the middle of the squares. This is Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam. I flagged Uncle Sam, beginning his taunt in the middle square, which is the most critical spot in tic-tac-toe. Claiming it first gives you a better strategic advantage, and who already has the best advantage in the game than Uncle Sam? Uncle Sam is the symbol and personification of the United States and its government. Now, in Kendrick Lamar's album To Pimp a Butterfly, Uncle Sam was the nickname, but also characterized to represent America, the government, capitalism, along with a lot of racism. Opening track of Wesley's Theory, he raps at one point as Uncle Sam saying, "What you want, you, a house, you, a car, 40 acres and a mule, a piano, a guitar, anything. See, my name is Uncle Sam, I'm your dog. Motherfucker, you can live at the mall." 40 acres and a mule, these are the promises.
Did not your brother, Professor Griff, say that recently? You're not going to buy your way to freedom. You're not going to shop. You're not going to shop your way to freedom. All right? You're not going to shop your way to freedom. If you are decoding Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime performance, then no one understands. If you're going to do the decoding, do the full decoding. You're not going to shop your way to freedom. You're not going to buy your way. You're not going to buy your way into this thing or buy your way out of it. There's not enough money on this planet that you can have. All right? That you're going to see your way out of this. All right. So the question is that, what do you want? You can live at the goddamn mall. Every time you get a paycheck, you can go to the mall. There's something there for someone to sell you, but they cannot sell you your freedom.
Made to slaves after the Civil War, like reparations. What he's showing us is that Uncle Sam represents a country built on freedom and choices, but it isn't. And for Black folks, it was built on false promises. What Uncle Sam is doing is criticizing and telling Kendrick how to perform and what everyone in America wants to see, hence the album title, To Pimp a Butterfly. Kendrick choosing now, Black History Month.
To Pimp a Butterfly. Now go back to what Doechii named her album. All right? I'm helping y'all tie it together. All right? To Pimp a Butterfly. And now we're talking about alligators. Come on, fam.
In America, where they're actively trying to strip the rights away from many minorities, is so impactful, and he's doing it in such a way. I'm happy to be Black, but I'm very happy to be Black. This is also coming on the heels of the Louisiana lawmakers demanding a family-friendly halftime, citing past vulgar performance.
A family-friendly halftime? When has there ever been a family-friendly halftime? Ever since Janet Jackson got part of her outfit torn off her and her breast was exposed by Justin Timberlake. Symbolizing rape culture. Yeah, I said it. I'm gonna say it again. When we say it with a beat behind me. Ever since Janet Jackson got half of her bra torn off by Justin Timberlake, all right, there ain't never been no damn family-friendly fucking entertainment. All right. Anyway.
Performances, and a lot of those vulgar performances are POCs. Don't ask us to perform if you're going to criticize it. Uncle Sam wears a custom bowed ensemble, a three-piece suit, and an overcoat. The placement of the stars is interesting. There are 14 stars on his jacket, and a flag believed to be from 1846 to 1848, anticipating the coming Civil War, does feature 14 stars, not representing all the states of the Union, but only the free states.
It only represents 14 stars, family. Do the decoding if you're going to do it. If you're going to break down the symbology, then do it. Just be thorough. All right, 14 stars. What do they represent?
States where slavery was illegal. It could represent that, but it might just be an array of different stars. There's a lot of interpretation you can make for it. Kendrick opens upon the classic GNX that graces the album cover, but it is not the exact one. This one was gutted and turned into a clown car, according to the art director. He's repping an unreleased track, Bodies, or Tiramisu, if you want to call it that. It was used to promote the GNX album a while back. Kendrick is rocking a royal blue varsity jacket, custom made by Martine Rose, who he's worked with much in the past. The front of the jacket reads Gloria, reference to the last song on the GNX album, and Gloria is also in red and white on the blue coat, similar to the American type of colors we're going to be seeing all throughout this performance. The back has a large PG Lang, the company Kendrick and Dave Free, the director of Not Like Us, share. Above the PG Lang, it says Compton, Kendrick's hometown, which you should know by now. He's also rocking the Nike Air DT Max 96s, a backwards turned cap with the Romanov Diamonds Angel Wing brooch. He's got the G National for Grand National patch, the all I ever wanted was the Black Brand National, Wop Wop Wop, which is from Not Like Us. On the the other side, 2025 and KOW, which, I was writing this very late, couldn't figure that out. I'm sure it just means one of the songs, but you yell at me. Tell me what you think it is. And of course, an A minor chain. This chain also refers to Dave Free and Kendrick's company, PG Lang, where this is also their logo. The two children holding up the A may look familiar because towards the end of the performance, we see people in the back waving the flag. As he continues singing on the car's hood, people start jumping from the vehicle and the trunk everywhere and wearing red, white, and blue. Later, we'll see them scattered, symbolizing America's current cultural divide. In our great nation's pigments, there's a lot of symbolism behind the colors. Red symbolizes
not know and understand when you start
valor and bravery.
Like that, we got to go back to the origin of not only the American flag. We have to go back to the origin of the
pay really close attention. The people in red are always trailing Kendrick, watching his back and ready to squabble up. White represents innocence and purity. These are the men dancing at the beginning, and their
ancient Kemet, white did not represent purity. From the body of knowledge and the reference point of our people across the planet, in ancient, especially in ancient Kemet and other places, I believe with the Dogon and other people, other traditions, pardon me, and other tribes, the white always represented evil, the devil. All right.
Our own little bubble, unfazed, singing under the streetlights, and when everyone falls to the ground dancing toward the end, they're still standing, dancing innocently. Blue represents vigilance and justice, and those in the blue we
no. Let me not say no, but in reference to coding this, yes. But blue represents deception. All right, but let's move on.
See trailing those in the red protecting Kendrick, dancing with SZA and Kendrick on the triangle stage, protecting SZA and Kendrick. They also represent the part of the American flag with our stars representing each state, which could further represent the justice we seek for Black men in America. Some folks have also interpreted it as the blue and red gang, since we know Kendrick's upbringing, and this could also represent their hopeful unity to combat the American game that's rigged against us. There's a lot of ways to interpret this scene, and I think everybody's points are valid. You just need to
look at it closer. You can look at Kendrick being in the middle of the two sides of the aisle, which I've told y'all about in reference to Democrat and Republicans. All right, two sides of the aisle, two sides of the two wings of the same damn bird. We've already talked about
unity to combat the American game that's rigged against us. There's a lot of ways to interpret this scene, and I think everybody's points are valid. You just need to know the message or get the message across, or actually just talk about it, because more word of mouth for the message. Activism. The music halts with a screech, and we're left behind with only the red dancers.
The revolution about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy.
I don't think I really.
All right. The revolution is about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy. Now, this is where I'm going to ask you, family, to be very, very honest. Hold on. Let me stop sharing real quick. Stop sharing. This is where I'm going to ask you to be very honest with yourself. All right. And I need y'all to be very honest with me and very transparent. When you say the revolution will be televised, what is he talking about? What revolution have you ever been a part of? Most of y'all don't even know the author of that particular saying. Yeah, I can say that. And I'm saying that. I don't normally talk like that. All right. Who is the author of that particular saying the revolution will not be televised? Most of y'all on here that's listening to me will know, because y'all are more informed and more intelligent audience. But the masses of our people, we don't know. Thank you very much. You guys own. Thank you. Golden Key, you ain't got to tell them people that. They fuck out of my face. Fuck about that. Shit. Thank you, Nia Muhammad. Thank you. Thank you. You got, no, fuck that. I do mean some harm. Fuck you mean Griff don't mean no harm. It's the fuck I do. My goddamn purpose on here is to fill this space up or clear this motherfucker out. Plain and simple. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Anyway, Griff don't mean no harm. You ain't got to speak for me. You ain't my motherfucking spokesperson. I don't got no PR person. I speak for my goddamn self. I'm going to fill this up. And I'm going to fill this chat room up with these comments and the rest of this shit, or I'm going to clear this motherfucker out. So if it's 3 or 4 people left, I'm good. Those are the 3 or 4 people that need to hear this. Not some of you lame ass motherfuckers. Anyway, thank you, Erica Badu. I need to throw a motherfucker in every now and then for you fucking Newport smoking motherfuckers and you 40-ounce motherfuckers out there. Anyway, where was I at? The revolution will not be televised. Gil Scott-Heron. The revolution will not be televised. Televised, sung by Gil Scott-Heron, 1971. Most of y'all were not even born. All right? Lyrics. You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, or cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag, all right, and skip out for a beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading the charge for John Mitchell, General Abrams, or Spiro Agnew, to eat hog maws confiscated in Harlem Sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. Now, he wrote this in 71. The poem is kind of long. I can't read it all to you, but look it up for yourself so you'll know what you're dealing with when young Kendrick Lamar comes up and says the revolution will not be televised. It's just with the wrong guy. Know what he's talking about. Like I continue to say in this broadcast, if you're going to decode it and you're going to break down the symbols, then do a thorough job. Don't give me the surface bullshit. Oh man, did you see what they said in the audience and the signs at the? Yeah, did you see the lady in the Did you see the lady in the audience with the voodoo doll? Stick a voodoo doll of Patrick Mahomes. Sticking the voodoo doll. I'm gonna let y'all know and tell y'all straight up, no uncertain terms, and this is no disrespect to anybody, anyone, especially Kendrick Lamar. All right, I think the most radical, revolutionary thing about this whole thing, this is just me, was this brother right here. Whoever this individual you see you see the sign right here? That brother that ran through, whoever he was, holding up the Palestinian Sudan Free Gaza sign that got arrested and got banned from the Super Bowl for life. That was one of the most revolutionary acts, that whole Super Bowl performance. Not to take anything away from Kendrick. All right? But most people didn't decode that. They didn't talk about that. I said, wow, okay. I saw it. Did y'all see it? Okay. Let me mind my goddamn business then. Because maybe y'all didn't see it. Back to some of the things that y'all might have saw. That's just Professor Griff, fam. Not y'all. All right? Y'all trying to pretend like y'all ain't see it. I saw it, shit. Anyway, let's go.
Really need to explain this one, but in case if I do, again, while rights are being stripped in America from minorities, we see explicit hate for most folks. Their freedom in the U.S. is taken away, and our government's loss of morality. This isn't necessarily a wake-up call, but we need order and change, which Kendrick is forcing you to see. You can't turn away from this. This is one, if not the most watched program in the United States. Additionally, we will speak to this in a larger portion of the video later, but note how everyone came out of the same car, but we'll later see them be divided and segregated, or separated.
What does that mean? You coming out of a black car.
Then they play Squabble Up, and we see the men in white dancing in the front, while those in the red dance in the back.
Some people's comments that I've saw, some people's YouTube clips, if everyone's getting out of the same black car, what does that mean to you? On a subconscious level, on a subliminal level, on the black man and woman of the gods and goddesses of the universe, the original people, what does that mean to you? Anyway.
In a more uniform march. I think these are the same men who appear later in Man at the Garden. These are the turf fiends who also showed up during Squabble Up in the music video. Notice how they enter Dancing with Kendrick. If this performance follows his journey in the American game or the American dream, it begins with him being himself in America, not liking it. Don't shoot the messenger, but if your website only works if I log in on my laptop using some weird browser that hasn't had an update in 6 years, then your website doesn't really work at all. Lucky.
What did Professor Griff talk about years ago about the game? What did Professor Griff talk? It's not me tooting my horn, fam. This is not that. I'm not that dude. All right. But did I not give y'all my first single coming out of the gate after I got kicked out by them sellout ass niggas in Public Enemy? Did I not give y'all Pawns in the Game? What game was I talking about? Did I not give y'all the ancient checkerboard square that most of y'all thought was Freemasonry? That Professor Griff was a Mason and all that kind of stuff. And then you did a little bit of research and figured out that we gave that to the world via ancient Kemet. All right. Did I not give y'all Pawns in the Game and school y'all to the game? I'm not saying I was the only one. That's just Professor Griff coming out the gate. That's all. Anyway, let's move forward.
For you, making a website is easier than ever thanks to Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one tool forms, making it easy to start receiving payments right away. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial. Influences, which I think we're highlighting here, but to a much bigger scope. We're recognizing the diversity across the nation. So in our neighborhoods or in our lives, we're actually focusing on the differences. Also, these 100 plus dancers were choreographed by Charm LaDonna, who did not like us. She is on top of it. Then Uncle Sam comes in for more play.
Okay, so there's 100 dancers in the video, but there was 400 people on that Super Bowl stage with Kendrick Lamar. Let's move forward. 400. What does the number 400 mean? What is this? What's significance to? Come on, fam. 400. Where you at, Blue Pill? 400.
Uncle Sam's not happy with the way Kendrick's playing the American game. Now, remember what I mentioned earlier and how Kendrick sees Uncle Sam. Not only is he being pimped by Big Greed in front of us, but the game wasn't really made for black folks. You're meant to assimilate and adapt to what Uncle Sam wants from you, and he promises that you'll get something if you fit his narrative. Additionally, it's not hard to assume a lot of America will criticize Kendrick's performance Monday morning as loud, reckless, and ghetto. These are also common words used to tear us down. And then this perfectly segues us into Humble, a song that is about being humble and arrogant at the same time. I know that some folks read it as Kendrick telling other rappers to be humble, but I always read it as both that and him doing the same thing, reminding himself to be humble, seeing as where he came from. He could also be, telling America to be humble right now at the Super Bowl because we know who's in the audience. And then you see the dancers positioned like the American flag, though it's divided right down the middle. This is probably...
You all see the sign that Trump threw up? Who does this? What? Come on, talk to me, fam. Come on, it's Professor Griff, your brother. Talk to me. All right. And the reason why, and I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, because I got this from the inside. The reason why y'all didn't see the explosions and the stars and the bursting and the pyrotechnics and the fire and the flames and all that stuff that y'all used to seeing on halftime shows is because the president of the United States was in the audience, and you can't have guns and bombs and explosives and fire and all that kind of stuff going off while the president is there. All right. Y'all still ain't tell me what this means. Go to your Freemason, go to your Freemasonry book, go to Codex Magica and tell me what that means. All right. You don't have it, contact me. All right. Ask some of your Freemasonic brothers. Ask some of your Eastern Star sisters on what this means, on what that means.
Probably my favorite sequence and has so many messages, maybe things you did or didn't notice. America's got a cultural divide going on right now, and we see it choreographed here with Kendrick standing in the middle of the divide representing our nation. But this could also represent he's helping bring us back together. It doesn't necessarily have to be Kendrick, but like he said, the revolution's about to be televised. You picked the right time, just the wrong guy. He's showing us, all of us, the problem in America right now. And I think it's important to flag that these are all black men with different outfits, accessories, and looks, but still, to me, this is very symbolic of America being built on the backs of black people. It's right there in front of us. I got it. Everyone scatters when he imitates gun firing. In the stands, you see it says stage 1. We're only at the beginning. And if this is Kendrick's journey through the American game or dream, we just got snippets of the gun and street violence while he performs DNA. This song is about racism and how we're treated when we carry so much history and culture and life, no matter how people stereotype us to be. The colors no longer form the flag. They all blend together now. And we're no longer divided, but harmonious and protecting each other. Where there is beauty and celebration in the hood, there are also times of extreme hardships and grief at the hands of inescapable violence, and we see that part of Kendrick's American game playing out here. The lights in the stand now spell out warning, wrong way, and I think
warning, wrong way. Who is he talking to? So is all of the symbolism, is he talking to white people or is he talking to you? Who is he talking to? Warning, wrong way. Come on now.
It can mean two things. Notice how we began near the square, then trekked all the way to the triangle, and then he'll turn around and strut back towards the beginning. I think this could be more commentary on how, as a nation, even divided, we're going backwards. Though you could also interpret it as Uncle Sam's warning in the American game. He's clearly not playing it right, Kendrick, so he's warning him to get back to something more palatable. And then,
okay. So then if you're not playing the game right and get back to something more palatable for the people, all right, get back to the center or whatever, it's like, come on, man. Come on.
Oh boy, we get Euphoria, the Drake song. This song came after Push-Ups, a song catered to dissing Kendrick.
I wanted to keep that on the screen because I wanted King Simon to do the numerology. We'll talk about it later.
Kendrick and using Euphoria, the name of the show Drake is an executive producer of, you know, that show that's centered around high schoolers and their rambunctious lives. Wonder why he's producing it. This is clearly a road, and we see all these street lights, and you can see that people are balanced on the street lights, looking up at the stars, or, you know, the night lights of the game. Kendrick released a short film with PG Lang titled Welcome to PG Lang. It featured him balanced on street lights like a cloud, just like this. This video incorporates numerous visual motifs, focusing on disengaging from your phone or overstimulation and embracing the present. You could also focus on the past or the future if you wanted. Though Kendrick on the streetlight is questioned, I wondered what he's thinking up there or whether he's thinking at all. And I think these boys on the street lamps represent Kendrick's break after Damn and the writer's block he mentioned in Morale and the Big Steppers. One of the men is wearing a hat that says Peekaboo, and we'll see that this is the next song in the performance. Then Uncle Sam comes back for more. Uncle Sam is still not here for the black culture and representation. He doesn't want us to show our authentic selves. Kendrick,
why do you think Uncle Sam shows up and don't want us to show all our authentic selves? All right. And why does he keep referring back to the game? All right. And who's not playing the game? Who's going the wrong way? And why are we horizontal on a street light? Why are we above the lights? Who is it that's above the lights? Who is it that the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth that's above the lights? Who is the light? Are we not light beings? All right.
Ain't listening to what he's telling him to do, so he has the scorekeeper deduct one life. This is to slow us down, to keep us apart when we're unified. However, this is also like a typical tactic. If we don't behave or we're not what they're looking for, we're chastised. What's also very important—
Could that have been Lil Wayne? We're not what we're looking for. We break it from the norm. All right. It's the reason why Jay-Z didn't choose Lil Wayne to do the, you understand what I'm saying? To do the halftime performance.
About this scene is that
I'm saying all that I'm saying to get you to think, fam, beyond what. Now, this sister is deep in what she's laying it out, and this is beautiful and masterfully done. All right. I'm going to tell you where you can find her on YouTube. All right?
Uncle Sam stares down the barrel of the camera at the viewers of America, addressing all of America, and says, scorekeeper, deduct one life. Are we the scorekeepers for Uncle Sam? He makes the command and we're supposed to follow? I mean, maybe not me, but you. Y'all, America. I'm also America, but you know, I'm black in America. It's a different game. We're now at Peekaboo, and Kendrick literally jump scared us all in this little cute appearance. We're performing now on the giant X, and each limb feels like a different island with a different group of people, hence their different choreographies.
Go back to Ashwa Kwesi and find out what the X means. Then study the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and ask the question to yourself, why did Elijah Muhammad tell us to strip ourselves of our slave master's name and give us an X? All right? And then go back into ancient Kemet and find the X. Let's move forward.
This could also represent the other communities, different groups of folks who have been divided but waiting for something to bring them together. A common ground maybe, a mission, what have you. In this case, it's Kendrick who leads them all to the free limb. Kendrick mentions, I want to perform their favorite song, but you know they love to sue, trolling Drake and his team for filing a lawsuit against you.
Coward. That's a cowardly move. That's not hip-hop. We don't do that. You understand what I'm saying? Come on, bruh. You're not like us. You're not
Universal Music Group for promoting Not Like Us. And he says he'll think about it, but slows it down. And Uncle Sam ain't happy, but then the ladies come out in red, and SZA is here, and we get Luther, which is my favorite song. I love Luther. Our girl is perfect. I'm having
that's so deep. I don't have time right now to break that down. Luther Vandross, Clyde Davis. Need I say any more? Diddy. I can tell y'all where I'm going with that in a minute, but we don't have a lot of time. Let's go.
Such a fun time watching her perform with Kendrick. Their little step two to each other is so nice. And you know what? I'll say it. If you guys want to buy me a ticket to their concert, I'll take it. I'll take any free ticket my way. I can't afford it. Also, this is exactly what happened with Renaissance. I couldn't afford it and then watched my friend just show up randomly. And then no one told me I don't know. I'm ranting now. I just want a ticket to this concert. I just can't afford it. But I know it's going to be great. Someone record it. Send it to me. Then we get All the Stars, which you might know from Black Panther, of course, because it's a great duet. We've now grouped back together, men, women, red, white, and blue. Then Uncle Sam comes back. Congratulations.
Did y'all catch that? The Black Panther reference? All the stars? Who are the stars? Who are the stars? I'm not talking about them corny ones that got the Hollywood Walk of Fame stars. And I'm not talking about the ones y'all see on TV and making so. Who are the stars?
Them on the song. That is until he summed it up the entire performance. There's a cultural divide in America. He's addressed and shown you in under 15 minutes. A performance for the masses to ponder or to seek to understand. 40 acres and a mule. This is bigger than the music. The promise was bigger than the prize, and they tried to rig the American game against us, systemically and structurally bound to prejudicial laws, unfair treatment, or disadvantages, segregation, gentrification, voter suppression, all of the above. However, for Kendrick, it's him being a puppet to the industry and wanting to be true to himself, and you can't fake influence. Then we get Not Like Us, and we're all back together dancing again. Kendrick smiles, but he says, "Hey Drake," and this is honestly the cutest thing in the world. Also, our man doesn't even have to say P3DO. The crowd screamed a minor. They screamed the words for him. Then we see Serena sea walking. In the Squabble Up video, we also saw a young girl dancing like this with her tennis skirt and outfit. There was an idea that she represented Serena and Venus Williams, who also grew up in Compton. This could be a nod to Serena's controversial dance during the Olympics, which she was criticized for, and speaks to the entire message Kendrick's.
She was criticized for that. Why? It's a cultural thing. White people, just sit back for a minute. This is for you too, but you don't realize it because your reprobate mind, your calcified pineal gland won't get you this deep to understand this. You understand what I'm saying? All right, you Not Like Us. This is probably wasn't for you, but check this out, y'all. It was for them. This is their reality check. Anyway.
Been saying through the performance, y'all support her when she's quiet and plays tennis, but God forbid she celebrates by sea walking. Also, we know Drake and Serena's past ain't a good one. We got 2 exes on the stage now. Ooh.
Now y'all see what the X mean? Let's go.
I'm just saying. Also, Serena and SZA, I'm so proud of you for walking away from that crazy man. Then we get Mustard in his custom leather Benson Star jacket. So proud of our boys. Look at them. They're so cute together. I could watch them dance like this on the field the entire time. And look, if you're mad, if Drake is mad, reminder, at the end, Kendrick tells you to turn your TV off. Turn his TV off. The revolution was televised. Are we locked in? Are you locked in?
What revolution was televised, fam? Revolution is complete, constructive, conscious, cosmic change. What revolution was televised?
Honestly, because this is a message to those watching and ourselves, because we need to recognize who is dividing us. And this was such a fun halftime show. There's a lot of things that might have gone over your heads or maybe confused you. And the thing is, no one is going to be 100 at this. This is some heavy research, and it's going to take a lot of time to dissect every single part. And I only think the only person that knows the entire story is Kendrick and his creative team. And for those not in America that are watching this video, because I know you guys like to watch the Kendrick Lamar videos to understand, our nation is divided right now, and a lot of folks.
Lulu_Clemens on YouTube. Thank you, sister. We really appreciate you. All right, for decoding that for us and breaking it down. That's the most thorough one I could find. And guess what? It took a black woman. It took that to come through a black woman. It took a black woman to give birth to that deep science that she gave us. All right, turn the TV off. Or make your own and turn it to the city of On or On. Some more symbology that some of y'all just, that right there just got by most of y'all. Let me stop playing. There is a city of On. All right. Where they get the word on from. All right. But anyway, turn the TV off because you're being programmed. All right, most of these are black mirrors. See, most of them are black mirrors. See the mirror? It's not even, it's on, but it's not on, but it's a black mirror. We'll talk about that in a second. I think I've said enough. I'm going to do part 2 at 3 o'clock. Let me just breathe, fam, and decompress. All right, sit and meditate for a minute and be quiet so I can give y'all part 2 I hope y'all will come back. I'm going to see y'all at 3 o'clock. This is your brother, Professor Griff. This is my decoding the Super Bowl, symbolism, and the show. But let me say this, family. This is no disrespect to anyone. All right? Guess who's the product? You. You're the product. Because I've yet to talk about the black brother, the quarterback, all right, with his black girlfriend, black wife, black family, which is symbolic. We'll talk about that in part 2. This is Professor Griff. I'm going to see y'all at 3 o'clock. I love y'all to life. I told Kalanji I'd be off before 1. I got to go. I love y'all to life, fam. I'm going to see y'all in a minute. I'm coming back on at 3 o'clock. All right? Stay tuned because I am rolling out my subscription. I am rolling out the membership. I definitely want y'all to get the book, Symbology. Hit me up, 678-557-2919. Text me so I can get y'all the book, Symbology. My website is not up. It's up under maintenance. So y'all got to text me to get the book, whether it's the ebook or the physical book. I love y'all to life. This is Professor Griff. I'm out. Shout out to my good brother, Black Dot. Shout out to the Pills. Shout out to my brother, Corey Johnson. Steve Coakley, that's decoding this, that's been decoding this stuff. All right, love y'all to life. Peace. Peace, fam. Peace. Ended.